I've been sitting in this chair with my leg, like, sitting on my leg, basically, and it is so numb right now, I barely walked over here straight. I don't even think I really did walk over here straight. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. My name is Justin, and today we are listening to David Bowie finishing out his album Diamond Dogs, which was released in 1974, with his last two songs on the album, Big Brother and Chant of the Ever-Circling Skeletal Family. I believe it says. It cut off at the end there. But yeah, we're finishing up the album today. Let me make a quick statement on this album. We listened to the first two songs on here, I don't know, I guess at least months ago by now at this point. And I wasn't like overly impressed with it. I was like, okay, it's fine. It's not like my thing, really. Can I tell you, thank you guys for encouraging me to keep going on this album. Because after Sweet Thing,
I was in.
I'm choking and I don't know why. I think I've been talking too much. That's my problem. Because even though at this point the only other album that I've heard from David Bowie is Station to Station, which like really set a high benchmark, I think that I prefer this album. There, I said it. I think I really like this album a lot. Before I start choking over here, I'm gonna shut up so we can listen to the music. I'm not exactly sure which album we'll listen to next from David Bowie. My mind, not guaranteed. I'm just telling you where I am right now. At this moment, I'm thinking Ziggy because you guys have been mentioning that one also. But we'll see. All right, we're gonna listen to the music while I try to catch my breath or whatever I'm choking on. You can join me on Twitter in the comments down below. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and let's do it. This is David Bowie with Big Brother leading into Chants of the Ever-Circling Skeletal Family. It's interesting.
Don't talk of dust and roses, or should we powder our noses? Don't live for last year's capers. Oh, give me steel, give me steel, give me pulses unreal. We'll build a glass asylum with just a hint of mayhem. We'll build a better whirlpool. We'll be living from sin, and we can really begin. He is Savior, Savior, shores. Hear me ungraphically yours. Someone to blame us, someone to follow, someone to shame us. Some brave Apollo, someone to fool us, someone like you. We want you, big brother, big brother. I know you think you're awful square, but you made everyone you've been everywhere. Lord, I think you overdose if you knew what's going down. Someone to claim us, someone to follow, someone to shame us, some brave Apollo, someone to fool us, someone like you. Someone to claim us, someone to follow, someone to shame us, some brave Apollo, someone
That is such an unexpected way to end the album. I thought that was really one of the coolest effects I've heard off of this album. That's not... If I had a CD player, I used to like have a CD player in my pocket when I was like in high school. That's how I'd listen to music. I would have thought my tape was skipping or my CD was skipping while I was walking. That was interesting. These final two songs end the album with like, well, the first part with Big Brother. I love the saxophone mellotron synth combination that we got going on. That is really lovely, especially the opening. This is very, very mysterious. This somewhat reminds me of Start off of Peter Gabriel 3. Like, at least just that section there where it's like, you know, just atmosphere. You got the saxophone. It's very lovely. I like this a lot. Sets up the tones very, very wonderfully for what's about to follow next. It feels like an ending is coming, right? Like, this feels foreboding of something. Especially with the mellotron in the back there. And this works really nicely off of the theatrical setup that we had previously gotten, for example, in 1984. This feels like the show is coming to a close before we get one last exciting blast. That's really cool how it switches up there as well. Mellotron is gone, we come into something a little bit more standard rock. Except for that saxophone, that's not standard. And his singing in this particular section with the chorus, kind of like what he's discussing and talking about, it sounds like he's really looking for something. I'm not sure exactly what, but something. And especially with the saxophone, I think there may be like tuba or, I don't know, some other horns in there. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but there's some other horn in there. Maybe it is just saxophone. But it gives this song a somewhat like, yeah, it's not jazzy. I don't think it's jazzy, but I think the saxophone adds a certain tone of jazziness to the song. Probably closer to something like Roxy Music, where it has kind of an art pop sound to it. It sounds like a party, but it's kind of like, it's desirable, it's decadent, but it's also a little bit decayed, it's a little bit dystopian, which I think actually speaks volumes to the whole album. That is really cool how they play between the sax and the mellotron there as well. And then we get into this, which I wasn't expecting, like an acoustic guitar. But listen to how David comes out of this. Listen, listen, listen. Like that? Yeah. And the drumming in this particular section as well gets really intense by Tommy Newman. Sorry, I don't know why I said Tony Newman. What's wrong with me? Tony Newman brings some very intense drumming to the climax of this section, which follows and leads into the next, Chant of the Ever-Circling Skeletal Family. Still gotta figure out the title. But David just has a certain atmosphere here with the musicians. I just think it's so unique. They're dancing, but I feel like it's not necessarily a happy dance. It feels like brainwashed chanting, I guess, you know, taking a look at the title of this track as well. It feels like they're just like hypnotized and mesmerized or something. And there's these other sounds that are building up around them in abstractness. This whole song, I think, lulls you into a sense of false security. Because it kind of feels happy, but at the same time it kind of feels ominous. And then eventually, as we get into that section where the music stops, and Bowie and his vocals just keep on repeating, cut off at a certain point, it's kind of frightening. It's like a jump scare with the music itself. It should be coming up here relatively soon. You get that helicopter-like sound. I don't even know what that is making that sound. Right there. It's like the record is skipping right now. I'm sure you guys or audiences listening to this on their record player at this point when the album came out, you heard that and you're like, what happened to what happened to that to the record player? But I think that that's a really cool way to kind of bring the album to an end. I'm imagining just from the audio it's a bad ending, and kind of looking at these last two songs, reading of the lyrics what I could, it didn't seem like it was a great thing. I mean, Big Brother, which is basically just like really, really overbearing, kind of like governmental oversight, basically, something along that nature. I know it's based on 1984, which, like I said, I haven't read. I know, but I have heard of the term Big Brother, and I kind of know what it's in reference to. Basically, the feeling of always being watched, the feeling of uneasiness as you know that, there is no privacy anymore. The government or whoever is watching. Don't talk of dust and roses, or should we powder our noses? Don't live for last year's capers. Give me steel, give me steel, give me pulsars unreal. He'll build a glass asylum with just a hint of mayhem. He'll build a better whirlpool. We'll be living from sin, then we can really begin. Please, Savior, Savior, show us, hear me, I'm graphically yours. Someone to claim us, someone to follow, someone to shame us, some brave Apollo. Someone to fool us, someone like you. We want you, Big Brother, we want you. So, like I said, Big Brother representing, just no privacy, complete oversight. And he's saying, we want you. We want you to claim us. No one else is going to accept us, but you'll accept us. We'll follow you. Even if you shame us, we'll follow you. They are just at their end, and that's their last the last place that they can go apparently is to Big Brother. And I like the lyric "Some brave Apollo." I think of two things, and if I remember correctly, Apollo is not only kind of representative of the moon, but also the Greek god of wisdom. Maybe, I think music, maybe wisdom, and that's Artemis. I don't know. I'm not completely up to date on my Greek gods, but. I think of Apollo, if I remember correctly, him being the moon, basically, or representative of it. The moon is always watching at night. Night is a time that you would think that you're under darkness, you're covered, you have some sense of privacy. But no, Apollo is always there. Apollo, Big Brother. Also, if I'm right, with Apollo also having or representing wisdom, that would mean that Apollo, Big Brother, knows things about you. He has wisdom on you. He got knowledge on you. You can't do anything without Apollo not knowing that you're doing it. Or was Apollo the sun? Whose chariot was it? No, that's Ra. He's got mixed up. And then they repeats the chorus of someone to claim us, someone to follow, etc., etc. And then at the end, we want you, Big Brother. Which leads into that chant, which also just repeats certain words. Brother, shake it up, move it up, brother, shake it up, and etc., etc., etc. It continues until we get to the end where it just skips as he's saying brother. And he's just saying bro. So it seems at the end that they gave themselves to Big Brother, and it may not have been a great ending for them. Maybe they got something they weren't expecting. They're expecting some sort of care, some sort of, comfort. In some ways, they had nowhere else to go but to, for lack of a better word, the bad guy. And naturally, the bad guy, Big Brother, betrayed them. I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to the album through with me because despite the artwork, which, wasn't my favorite, it didn't exactly draw me towards the album, but the music in it, can't deny it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it with me as well. Let me know your thoughts on these two songs, but also the album as a whole. Let me know what you think about the story. You can join me on Twitter in the comments down below, etc., 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 etc. And who knows which album we'll listen to next from David. You can leave your recommendations in the comments below, of course. But as I said, I have in mind possibly Ziggy Stardust, but I'm not quite sold on it just yet. We'll see. There's a lot of albums and a lot of choices, so who knows? Hope you have a fantastic night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.